This is BNN, the Bloviation Nation Network.
The following is an unpaid celebrity endorsement for yet another way to exploit gullible seniors.
Hi, I'm William Devane. My wife and I were talking the other day. Actually, she was talking about something. I don't know what it was. And this has been happening more and more. And the stress of nodding and trying to look interested finally got to me. Now I want to tell you about a little-known government program that can help those over 62 avoid the unexpected costs that can arise from a bitter and ugly divorce settlement. With a reverse marriage, you and your loved one can stay in a relationship that gets better each day because it gets more and more like when you first met until you wake up one morning and you have no knowledge that the other person even exists because, well, you haven't met them yet. And you've avoided those costly alimony and division of property issues that can ruin your plans for those golden years.
Call now for your 8-track tape and picture book. It covers all the questions you'll have about the reverse marriage and shows glossy photos of happy seniors dining in and doing aquatic exercises.
There's so much craziness in the world today, and this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
Call 800-900-1000, 800-900-1000, 800-900-1000. Do it today.
And this meeting of the Dullards Club for Men is hereby called to order.
You know, we still haven't gotten a gavel.
I have not gotten a gavel. I was hoping you could maybe superimpose a gavel either into my hand or just drop one.
Give me a motion. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So anyway, is there any new business?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. Damn it. Because the minutes of the last meeting, I did want to add something to clarify a statement I made during last episode. It's not, in fact, only Thomas's muffins, English muffins that have a top and a bottom. It may not be worth expanding on.
I believe this qualifies as old business.
No, I thought of you when I did this, and I actually took a picture of a store brand English muffin, and you'll see that also has not so clearly delineated top and bottom, but it's subtle, and you'll see. Now we can move on to new business.
I was watching a story the other day on the number of people who have been duped out of what is close to their life savings by having clicked on a contributor's website for one party or the other. They click on the website and they don't notice in the fine print it says, is this a continuing contribution?
Yeah, I saw that.
And so every week they're getting, $25, $30, $50 taken out of their directly out of their checking account or their credit card or whatever they put on there.
Scary.
And yes, and legal.
Yeah.
So I just have to figure out a way to do that myself, and then I think I'll be all set.
Oh, we wouldn't have to do this anymore.
I know. We do this for fun. Hey, you had mentioned in one of your little notes to me about raw eggs.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I don't know what made me
we
think
are
of that.
shifting topics here. But what brought that one up anyway?
I'm trying to think of what triggered it. I was probably making eggs and spilled some white or something on the counter, and I said, I got to throw that. And I started thinking about, geez, everything you see about do not consume raw eggs and, do this, make sure that everything is cooked. And I started thinking, I said, one of the vivid memories I remember from Rocky is him cracking a half a dozen eggs into a glass, raw eggs, and then drinking it down. What is it? Is it, in fact, not good for you? Or is it they say, I don't care, it's going to give me more muscles? I'm sure there's some combination of same.
And speaking of eggs,
yeah,
and egg whites, we get liquid egg whites.
Yeah.
We buy them
As
in the
do
carton.
egg beaters or whatever. Yeah.
And I use them for the whiskey sours when I'm making a whiskey sour. And the proper way to make a whiskey sour, of course,
Wait a
is
minute.
you need
You're gonna
whiskey.
slide that one in. How the hell do you make a whiskey sour with raw eggs, with
Well,
egg product?
You take the whiskey and you pour it into and then you mix in some lemon juice, and then you mix in some simple syrup because you'd have to get
You're
some of the
serious?
sweetness in there.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
very serious about it. And then you need to get the foam. So you have to shake it up and get the foam. So you pour in your egg white and you shake it up. And I think what happens is maybe in this particular recipe, the whiskey kills the salmonella.
Well,
So it makes it safer. And it also kills whatever brain cells I have left, the whiskey. So I don't really care at this point whether
as
I'm getting
crazy as that
salmonella
all
or not.
sounds, it may in fact be legit. Speaking of, you brought up
Geils must have got lost.
You know my feeling about people who think that the expression is must of instead of must have. And it was like, how blatantly, this is how bad it is. One of those, who approved this? Did it get by the editors, or did they say, screw it, let's just write it since that's what people think it is?
I would have just said musta.
Right,
I said, I musta.
Musta would have been fine.
Musta got lost.
MUSTA is a made-up word that's fine. But must of are two real words that don't ever go together. And I looked it up to make sure it wasn't just the radio station screwing up. I Googled it. Every reference to the song is must of got lost. So I got to believe Peter Wolf and the whole crew said, screw this. Let's see if this gets by them. And it did. I mean, MUST''VE stands for must have. Way too many people write it must of, should of, could of. It's like, did you not get past fifth grade?
Maybe we should ask Woofa Goofa with the green teeth. What? You know what?
Yeah, let's take a break. Well, as we go to the break, I got to remind everybody that this is a club where your voice can be heard by sending your thoughts, random thoughts or otherwise, dull thoughts or otherwise, to boring@thedullardsclub.com. And you'll be surprised how quickly we actually respond, since we basically are always running out of our own material. So let's head into the break, and we come back. It's the lightning round.
You don't say.
If you have moderate to severe hypochondria like me, and you've asked someone in a white lab coat about any logic, this is Once Daily Extra Strength Humora. This is Humora helping to distract me from thinking that the rash on my skin is flesh-eating virus, or a slight headache is exploding head syndrome.
Once Daily Humora works by blocking your normal sense of good taste and logic that contributes to hypochondrial symptoms, which could be just about anything. It's rumored to be able to stop rational thought among adults with adolescent senses of humor. Humora can lower your ability to separate fact from fiction. Side effects can include, but are not limited to,
restless leg, restless spirit, night sweats, night terrors, suicidal thoughts, homicidal actions, fear of the unknown, upset stomach, total contentment, itchy scalp, uncontrollable laughter, dry mouth, dirty mouth, difficulty swallowing, distorted vision, death, a fate worse than death, trouble falling asleep, trouble waking up, generally getting into trouble, hair loss, low tolerance for young children, unbridled euphoria, AFib not caused by heart valve problem, acid reflux, bad breath, bad taste, reckless behavior, feckless responses, unexplained fashion faux pas, irritable bowel syndrome, overactive bladder, unexpected gas, and a heartbreak of psoriasis.
Do not operate heavy machinery, doorknobs, flush toilets, or TV remotes, as conflicts may arise over your poor entertainment choices. Many users have experienced eventual death due to conditions like old age and accidents. You should also get tested for TB, and while you're at it, STDs. If you've been to an area where only certain podcasts are available, Humora might be able to help.
Keep shopping until you find a doc who will prescribe Once Daily Extra Strength Humora. HUMORA.
It's time for
You Don't Say!
You Don't Say. You know, this is all the stuff that we thought was good enough to include in the show, but, well, as it turns out, we were wrong again.
We thought better of it, giving it further thought. So, shall I ring a bell? What do you got? Go for it, sir.
Well, I've heard that a person's morning routine can say a lot about them.
So they say. So what's your morning routine?
Well, I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Well,
next
I guess
topic.
I could say me too, but I don't want to imply that it's at the same time in the same place.
What else you got?
I was thinking of something the other day. I was trying to get the lawn equipment done for the season. And I said, I should change the air filter. I said, I know I got 2 last year. I'll have an extra one. I'll be all set. Couldn't find it, and I realized how many times I buy an extra something and then forget where the hell I put it. It happened a couple years ago with the furnace, a thermocoupler. I said, I'm going to get an extra to have on hand when we lose heat. Damned if I could find it, so I had to buy yet a third one. Someday I know I'm going to find these residual ones in a box behind the shelf somewhere. What do you got next?
I was reading in the paper the other day that baby Jessica, remember baby Jessica?
Oh, yeah, I remember baby Jessica, sure.
Well, she just turned 37 years old. Can you believe it?
Well.
And I think it's time to get her out of that hole, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I wonder, I'm sure there'll be those of us who would like to know what her life is like now. But that will have to stay for another time.
It will. What do you have?
Speaking of newsworthy things, a couple weeks ago, an Austrian man amputated his member, let's say, with an axe. An axe after eating psychedelic psilocybin mushrooms.
I was thinking of a poem. Austrian man took an axe and gave his member 40 whacks. I doubt it took 40. But speaking of members, if you are interested in becoming one, rather than maybe losing one, you should consider joining the Dullards Club for men.
And women.
Yes, and women. You'll get a certificate, and you'll get other good stuff, too. So our website is thedullardsclub.com. This meeting is adjourned. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Until next time.